So guys, what is going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, I hope you guys are keeping well. Smash the like button on this video, hit the subscribe button, share the video. Delicious. Okay, so I'm going to read out this article to you. The Canelo Alvarez and Demetrius Andrade saga. Go and have a read. I'm going to read it for you anyway. Of the Boxing News 24 article, which was published on January 26th. It says, is Canelo Alvarez ducking Demetrius Andrade? So it says here, it's become noticeable by fans that Canelo Alvarez has never shown any interest in fighting the undefeated former two-division world champion Demetrius Andrade over the years, despite the two fighting in the same weight class for long periods. The question is, why doesn't Canelo want to fight Andrade? Is it because he's a terrible fighter, or is it because he's too much of a threat? Many boxing fans believe tall, powerful, slick southpaw Andrade possesses all the elements needed to defeat 5'8" Canelo and make him look silly in the process. If you watch Canelo struggle against arguably lesser fighters than Demetrius Andrade in Billy Joe Saunders and Caleb Plant in 2021, you can't help but derive at the likelihood that Andrade would tear him a new backside. This guy seems like a Demetrius Andrade fan. So basically, it looks like to some Canelo fans, Andrade will do anything, and Canelo. So it says, sorry. So basically, it looks to some like Canelo fears Andrade and will do anything that he can to avoid facing him. If that means vacating the WBO 160-pound title, that's a predictable move. Andrade could potentially vacate his WBO 160-pound title and ask the World Boxing Organization to install him as Canelo's mandatory. Canelo should have fought Demetrius Andrade years ago. Alvarez should have fought Andrade as far as back as 2011 when the two fought at 154 at the same time. Canelo campaigned at light middleweight from 2011 to 2017. From 2017 to 2019, Canelo fought at middleweight. For his part, Andrade has fought at middleweight since 2017, but Canelo chose not to fight him during his 2 years in the division. Is that accidental on Canelo's part, or a calculated move to avoid Andrade? Andrade fought 154 at the same time for all those years, yet Canelo didn't fight him. Allow me to make a case, Demetrius Andrade, because Andrade was a title holder at 154 pounds when Canelo was a title holder at 154 pounds. Canelo didn't fight him then. In fact, Andrade moved up and Canelo, after he fought somebody and moved back down to fight for that same title against Liam Smith in 2016, several years ago, so he waited for Andrade to vacate that title. Andrade moved up to 160 in 2017, and Canelo doesn't fight him over several years while campaigning at 160, said Chris Mannix. So Andrade moved to 160 pounds and Canelo doesn't fight him over several years while campaigning at 160 pounds. Andrade the opportunity, because he's the WBO title holder, to vacate belt and become the mandatory for Canelo at 168 pounds. So you can make a roundabout argument that Canelo has gone out of his way not to fight Demetrius Andrade. You can make an argument, look at the facts. So Alvarez fought well-known older fighters. It's excellent Canelo has fought Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev and Danny Jacobs, but those were all guys past their prime by many years. Okay, that's nonsense. Okay, that's nonsense. Gennady Golovkin was definitely not past his prime. Kovalev was. Danny Jacobs was certainly not past his prime. That's nonsense. I can agree that Kovalev was, but not. Kovalev was 36 when Canelo fought him and was no longer at 175, the best at 175. When Canelo fought Kovalev, Arthur Beterbiev was viewed as number 1, and Dmitry Bivol, Kovalev was a distant 3. Even then, position was precarious because Joe Smith was ranked high in the WBO Boxing Organization's ranking at the top. He was fighting at a much higher level than the aging Russian. Okay, I don't know about that. I don't know whether Joe Smith would have beaten Kovalev. Canelo fought GGG. He fought Kovalev and he fought guys, Danny Jacobs. He fought guys that Demetrius and those other guys probably don't want to fight, said Barak, explaining why Canelo shouldn't have to fight Andrade. They're mentioning at 175, nobody at 154 or 160 is going up to 175 pound. Do you mean to tell me that he's afraid of Andrade? Okay, so then they go back and forth. Andrade is a great fighter and a great threat, but do you think Canelo has shown that he's scared of anybody? I'm not calling him a ducker, but you just look at the facts, said Mannix. Twice at 2 different weight classes, Canelo had the option and opportunity to fight Demetrius Andrade, but he didn't do it. Let's not act like David Benavidez, Jamal Charlo or Golovkin is different, but other guys around there bring so much more to the table than Demetrius Andrade. Let's not act like they're overwhelming popular and they have such a broader fan base and that they're bigger and better options than Demetrius Andrade. Gigi has brought in a huge audience, and the fact that Canelo moved up, I said GGG is different. Put him to the side. I'm not done with Andrade here. Andrade would fight GGG in a heartbeat. He's been asking for that fight at times. He would have fought Kovalev too. A lot of people want to fight Kovalev, said Mannix. Okay, this is a long-winded. You know, you guys can go and have a read of this article, but this is a long-winded article. As you can see, there's back and forth. Let's read on actually. Okay, is Canelo picking and choosing his opponents? No. He wouldn't have fought Kovalev, said AK about Andrade. I never heard him, Demetrius, say he would go up to light heavyweight ever. And I'm not saying Demetrius doesn't have the ability to compete with Canelo. I love the guy and I think he can fight and I think he's a great matchup, but a guy can only fight a certain amount of people per year. And this is a business, it's prize fighting. So you got business people telling you that that fight makes more sense. It just can't be about glory and for legacy and please the fans. This is business, so I think Canelo made the right decision business-wise. I'm not saying he didn't. I'm not saying talking about right now. Mannix, you're a writer. Choose the right word, said Sergio Mora in joining the pro Canelo, teaming up on Mannix. You said avoided or scared. No, it's a business decision. Hold on, I didn't say none of those words. None of those words came out my mouth. So these guys, the DAZN guys, are going back and forth with each other. So basically, here's my take. You know what? It is weird why Canelo Alvarez hasn't fought Demetrius Andrade. As it said in the article, he had opportunities at 154 pound and 160 pound, and Andrade was a champion for a long stint at that time. You know, I believe that when he moved up to fight Kovalev, that Andrade had the title, and I think Canelo had all the other titles, right? But Canelo again didn't choose to fight Demetrius Andrade. I want to get, what is the reason behind it? Is it because Canelo has so many options? Is it the fear of the style? Is it the fear of Andrade being a tricky test? You see, we don't know that. We can only speculate here. We can only speculate. Maybe Canelo Alvarez is afraid of Andrade's style. Maybe it's just a business decision and he thinks, Andrade, you know, I've got other options which are easier for me. As a business at the end of the day, which I can make more money, more business sense. As you know, the guys that were backing Canelo in this article were the points that they were making. Whereas Chris Mannix was saying he had opportunities to make fights with Andrade in the past, but he hasn't. Why? The why is something we don't know. We can only speculate. My good friend Christian says, because Canelo doesn't want to fight him because he's scared, because he knows he'll lose. I don't think Canelo's afraid of Demetrius Andrade in terms of losing. I don't think so at all. But everyone has their own opinion, you know, about why. I just think Canelo for me, in my opinion, and this is my, you guys know I'm a big Canelo fan, I think he has to fight Demetrius Andrade somewhere down the line. I just think I feel like the narrative that's being built up now, if Canelo doesn't fight Demetrius Andrade, and it's a fight that I believe he wins, right? And it's a very orientated sport. I think it's a fight that Canelo wins. And I'd go as far as saying I think he wins with ease. I can't see Andrade beating Canelo Alvarez. I just can't. And people would disagree. Andrade fans will disagree. I can't see Andrade beating Canelo Alvarez. I'm going to put it out there. I can't see it. Can't see it. But I just think with articles like this, I think just like people say with Floyd, that he ducked Amir or he ducked Margarito, he ducked Paul Williams, this will be a guy that people will, because there are people that are calling for that fight. Now, it depends on what Canelo does, and I don't think Canelo has too many fighters. It's not like, yeah, if he goes to light heavyweight, but here's the thing, if Canelo goes up to light heavyweight, cleans out the light heavyweight division, and he beats Bivol and Beterbiev, who a lot of people would say are much better than Andrade, or are much more of a threat to Canelo than Andrade. You know, majority of the boxing fans would state that, or feel that way. You know, maybe certain Andrade fans may think otherwise, but most of the boxing world, in my opinion, would feel that Beterbiev and Bivol, who are bigger than Andrade, stronger than Andrade, you know, they're obviously stronger, they're bigger men. And Bivol is stylistically a very tough fight. People say that he's got a very good style, slick style. It's going to cause Canelo all sorts of problems, right? If he goes and fights them two, then I think it shuts that down. However, I think this is a fight that Canelo... Here's the thing with Canelo Alvarez. I don't really know what is the beef with Andrade. I don't understand why, when he's had opportunities. You know, it's not the fact that he feels that he's going to lose to Andrade. That's just nonsense. No fight. Come on. Canelo's not afraid of Demetrius Andrade or afraid to lose to him. But there's something, but the thing is, there's that question in your head that what is the reason? You're reading this. Chris Mannix makes some good points. The DAZN guys make some good points. Well, Chris Mannix is from DAZN, but the other guys that are, you know, Mannix was, you know, in favor of Andrade, that he felt that Canelo is kind of avoiding. Whereas those guys were saying it's a business. You know, there's other opportunities for Canelo. And there are. Canelo's got so many opportunities. But why, like, when he's had opportunity 154 and 160, why has Canelo not entertained that fight? What is the reason? What is the reason why Canelo's not entertaining that fight? Maybe now it's just he dislikes Andrade. But what was the reason before? What was there about Demetrius Andrade? Because he fought Lara, who was very, very dangerous for him. What is there about Andrade? I don't want to hear this that, oh, well, Andrade's not fought anybody. We know that he's not fought anybody. We know his resume is very poor. But Lara's resume wasn't that great. Neither was Billy Joe's resume any special. So what is there about Demetrius Andrade that Canelo just doesn't seem interested? I don't know. This is what I mean. And that's why I think Canelo should fight Andrade. Because I think he wins that fight. And I think you guys, a lot of you guys will think he wins that fight. But if he doesn't fight him, it's a bit like, for me, it's a bit like Floyd and Khan. I believe Floyd Mayweather would have beaten Amir Khan. But Floyd didn't fight him. Right? If Canelo Alvarez doesn't fight Demetrius Andrade, there will be that asterisk there, because there's a lot of people that want to see the fight. Whether you guys want to see it, there is a lot of people that want to see it. So there will be that debate that he's ducking Demetrius Andrade. You know, so I personally think it's a fight Canelo should have. And I don't really think people, when people say Andrade's a really hard style and Canelo's going to have this drop, I don't see it. I don't see it. But that's just my opinion. You know, in the ring and inside that squared circle, that's where things are revealed. You know, I hope that fight happens. I hope that fight happens. It goes on to say avoided. It was something along the lines where he was avoiding him. That's not the case. It was a business decision for Canelo to fight Andrade, not to fight Andrade, and instead fight fighters like Yavni Yildirim, Rocky Fielding, and Callum Smith. I agree with AK. Okay, maybe next time when people are talking, you can listen and get the words right that they actually said. Anyway, next time Demetrius Andrade yells at me for advocating enough for him, I'm directing him back to this segment, this tape. Yeah, because apparently Andrade said about Chris Mannix why he doesn't why he doesn't, make a case for, Canelo fighting Demetrius Andrade. So Mannix has definitely, made a case for Demetrius Andrade here. But yeah, it does stack. Why do you guys think Canelo's not fighting Demetrius Andrade? Make your honest feelings. Don't say, oh well, he's not fighting him because Andrade's not fought anybody. That's just not. Why do you think? What is there? Do you think there's a beef? What do you think? What do you think? I don't know. I'm a bit confused, to be honest. I don't really know. I'll be speculating. But it is a fight that I want to see. It is a fight I want to see. You see, Christian wanted me to say Canelo Alvarez is ducking Demetrius Andrade. He said, Imran, you said Floyd. He said to me, he sent me a message saying that you made a video about Floyd. Yeah, Floyd did duck Amir Khan. But why can't you admit Canelo ducked Demetrius Andrade? And the reason why I'm not going to make that claim yet is because Canelo's still active. Canelo's not a retired fighter. Floyd's retired. Canelo's not retired. And Canelo may end up fighting Demetrius Andrade in the future. So when Canelo's career is over, if he doesn't fight Demetrius Andrade, right, and it's a fight which people do want to see, then I can make that claim. At this particular point, for me to say Canelo's ducking so-and-so is ridiculous. Especially, as I pointed out, if Canelo goes on to fight tougher fights with better Biev and Bivol, then I think it's hard to spin that narrative, because nobody would care about a Demetrius Andrade fight if he fights Beterbiev and Bivol, who are bigger and dangerous fights for Canelo. A lot of people view them as dangerous fights. So the point I'm trying to make is that unless Andrade starts making moves himself in terms of doing big things and beating top level fighters, nobody's going to take him seriously when Canelo's career is done. But at this point, Canelo, I'm not going to say he's ducking Andrade because of the fact that Canelo's career is not done. Now, should Canelo have fought him by now? I believe he should have. I believe Canelo should have fought Demetrius Andrade. I don't know why. Is it a stylistic thing? Does Canelo worry about Andrade's style? Or is it something else? Is it a business decision? But to say he's ducking Andrade when you look at Canelo's resume and you look at what Canelo's done in the sport, I think it's unfair. And bearing in mind, he's not finished yet. This Andrade fight may well happen. May well happen down the road. And I actually think it will. I think it may become so big, depending on what Andrade does. If Andrade does something big and fights top level opposition, it may become so big where Canelo has no choice. Where the demand becomes so big, the money's so great. Canelo ain't afraid of Demetrius Andrade. He'd fight Andrade in a heartbeat. But the fight might become so big where Canelo could be lured into a huge offer. At the minute, Canelo will probably get paid about 40 million, 35, whatever. But Canelo's getting that more to fight Charlo. Charlo's a bigger fight than Andrade. Beterbiev, he'll get paid more to fight Beterbiev. He'll get paid more to fight probably Bivol. Do you see what I mean? As AK was pointing out, it's a business. Boxing's a business. Fighters aren't scared. Canelo's not afraid of Demetrius Andrade or afraid of his style, slick style. Canelo's fought many tough fights. Fought Mayweather, fought Lara, fought guys like that. It's not about being afraid of somebody. It's just about when the timing's right. I think Canelo will fight. But like I said, I would want to see this fight. I do want to see him fight Andrade. Just because I think I know what happens in the fight. And as a guy that's watched Canelo for a very long time, I want to see if Andrade is a fight which is going to give him a lot of trouble. Because there are a lot of people that think Andrade does give Canelo Alvarez trouble, right? Irrespective of what you think, there are a lot of people out there. So why not Canelo set the record straight? And fight Demetrius Andrade. It's a great fight. But leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'd love to know your opinion. What do you make of this back and forth between, the DAZN presenters? Why do you think Canelo's not fought Demetrius Andrade? Give me your honest opinion. Why has Canelo not fought Demetrius Andrade? What is the real reason behind it? What is the real reason, you know, after being in the same weight class for many years, in different classes, being in the same weight class, why hasn't Canelo fought Demetrius Andrade? What is the real reason? What is there in Andrade that, you know, why Canelo's not? What does Andrade have? Is it a style? Is it the fact that he's boring? Is it the fact that, you know, it just doesn't, it's not a big fight? Or, you know, back in the day, it might not have been a big fight at 154. Canelo might have had better opportunities, because nobody was talking about Canelo fighting Demetrius Andrade. They were talking about Canelo Golovkin. And this article where it says he fought a past prime Gennady Golovkin, that's nonsense. Golovkin was battering everybody. Golovkin wasn't past his prime. You know, so yeah, that's discrediting Canelo, to say the least, because Golovkin was bookie's favorite to win that fight, to knock Canelo out. So I don't know how he was past his prime, you know. But yeah, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Is Canelo Alvarez avoiding Demetrius Andrade? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.